Hey, welcome to Sam Outside. I'm Sam and I'm outside. Thanks for joining me. I'm outside because, well, it's one of the most important things I can do for myself. In fact, I find the best version of myself when I'm outside. I made a career of it. I'm lucky enough to have spent 25 years in camping and outdoor education, sharing what I've learned, what I'm still learning about nature. So, professionally, I teach forest ecology through play. That's right, a lot of games. And I let those folks that I'm sharing with uh, ask the questions. All right, I want them to be curious, and when they ask a question, when they invite the learning, that's the best time. That's the best way. But for myself, this is where I can reorganize my thoughts. All right, I can be that best version of myself because I get to be curious, and in a way, it's where I get to be that child. So I explore, I look, um, but at this point in my life, I want to know the answers. So I do a little research, and I have so many books, right? And uh, as a trained forest therapy guide, I do want to know the answers. That's part of the responsibility. Is I do want to impart and share um, what I know with participants, not only about what other living things are in our ecosystem, but what they do with us, what they do for us, and a part of showing and sharing that interconnectedness of producers and consumers and decomposers, the stuff we don't see, right? All the activity and the connections that all living things have, right down to the mycorrhizal network, right? The unseen pathways of how trees communicate and share messages and resources, right through to the benefits of birdsong, all right? How important the insects are, despite how comfortable I am not with mosquitoes and black flies. And well, now it's deer flies and soon horse flies, but they do feel a valuable part of the ecosystem, right? They have their place, they have their niche. So I'm just part of it. But I get to be the best version of myself, especially in this place. Part of me becoming a certified forest therapy guide was I spent 6 months after the 8-day training with the founders of GIFT, the Global Institute of Forest Therapy and Nature Connection. Uh, it wasn't enough. After that, you spent 6 months connecting one on one, submitting weekly, and sharing monthly. And yeah, that's still pass or fail. If I didn't follow through on that part of it and didn't, um, you know, do my part in my own learning, in my own discovery, I would not be the forest therapy guide that I am today. I wouldn't be able to share what I've experienced, what I know, and what I'm trying to impart with so many others. But it starts with going outside. So this space, I've shot many videos here by Heart Lake. It's because this was where my sit spot is. My sit spot is a place where I spend 10, 15, 20 minutes when I can, a couple times a week, and just sit and I'm being mindful, right? I'm going to listen. I'm going to feel. I'm going to taste the air. Sometimes I taste some of the greenery as well, or I make tea, right? Because I know and I've had to learn what plants are beneficial and more importantly, what plants I should avoid. And there's a time and a place for that. I don't do it all the time, but I do it when I can, if needed. So my sit spot, yeah, just right over there. There's a nice rock and a nice tree. Um, we need other people, right? We are the most social creatures on the planet. But for me personally, the more I find myself around other people, the more my internal dialogue changes. And it's fair and it's natural, but it's not always healthy because we naturally compare. We want to find our place in the world. We want to find where we fit in the hierarchy of our social interactions, of our peer group. Um, and sometimes that leads to a negative inner dialogue. All right. So when I'm out in nature with myself, by myself, for myself, I get to change that narrative. I get to say that I am good enough, right? That I am a good person, that I am contributing in my own way with small steps that I make with choices of what I bring into my household, how I dispose of it in my household, how I make a difference in the lives of the young people I get a chance to work with and share with. And, you know, being a good fur baby, taking him out twice a day on these walks, that really helps. We need people, and unfortunately, that's where the dialogue and the narrative changes. So, yeah, that's distracting. Well, that's just him playing his part in the ecosystem, letting the squirrels and the chipmunks know that he's out here. All right, but the truth is, we are the most social creatures on the planet, and we need other people. We need family. We need friends. So surround yourself with good people and make connections at work, or change where you work if those connections aren't working out well for you and positive. But friends, there's a reason when others don't play nicely with each other in society. There's a place that we put those who can't comply with expectations. And in those facilities, they have their own rules. And if an inmate can't abide by those rules, they send them to someplace all alone, without any choices, without any freedom. And that's the absolute worst thing you can do to another human being on this planet, is put them into solitary confinement out of their own choice, right? It's exercising the strongest element of control over someone else. Yeah, that's the most extreme consequence human beings can have for other human beings. And yet, when I have a choice, I try and spend as much time by myself for myself. So, doing it in nature is great. This time that you can spend outdoors, time you can spend by yourself, change that inner dialogue, and better appreciate what you do, why you do it, and maybe even make small commitments to yourself, with yourself, for yourself, about how you're going to be that person when you are invited or asked or expected to be among others. So for me, I need time alone outside. Everyone does. All right. Nature heals. All right. And allows me to be curious. So please go outside. Be curious. Be with yourself. There's a need to share with others, but you can't be a good support person. You can't be the best version of yourself for others unless, first and foremost, you are okay with yourself. So do the work, put in the time, find ways to make yourself better, more healthy, more strong. It's a long life, so try and find ways to build longevity. And then that'll better make you the person you need to be for others, for your family, for your friends, for your colleagues, for the rest of the world. It all starts by going outside, right? Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Talk to you soon.